see, whenever you apply for any job or any internship, what will that company look for in your resume? It will look for projects, right? And these projects need to be as original as possible, because if you keep doing the same thing, you'll probably end up getting a very small job instead of getting a very nice job. So today we are going to learn WebVR. Okay, what does that mean? WebVR is basically.
So Shaukat, just a minute. Recording is on. So once if it's on, we'll.
Okay. Just tell me when the recording is on. Till then I'll stop
Yeah,
the
yeah.
class.
It's processing. So once if it gets on, I'll just tell you. Shaukat, you can start now. Recording has been started.
Okay, got it. Okay, guys. So in today's class, what are we going to learn? We are going to learn how to make a basic 3D portfolio website using a HTML library called A-Frame. Okay. So what happens is, whenever you render a 3D thing into your website, what will happen is that is shown in 2D, right? So you're watching it in 2D, but the experience is going to be, the object is actually 3D, but the experience will be 2D. For example, if you look at this cloud, what is this cloud? This cloud is actually just a box, but actually it's a 3D object. You're viewing it in 2D. Okay, so this is like not a part of our course, but just so you guys get interest in VR, and probably some of you will get into it. I'm just trying to, give you a look of how WebVR will work. Okay, so A-Frame is the easiest way to get started, but it is the least customizable. Okay, so the more effort you put in, the more customization you can do. There is one library, the main library that people use, especially for games or anything, is called Three.js. Okay, so this library is used for rendering 3D things in your website, and this is comparatively difficult and needs a lot more effort from your side. For example, if you see the examples here, look at this. You can actually move around with your mouse. What is happening? If you see, this is an animation that keeps continuously playing. That is a 3D object, but we are viewing it in 2D. Okay, so when you scroll like this, it changes. Today we are going to learn how to create your own portfolio, kind of. Okay, I'll give you an overview, but you have to get down and do all the customization. So it's not really a portfolio either. So how do you get started? You always open the docs. So since this is a HTML library, the syntax is extremely simple. You just have to write an index.html file, and in that file you can do whatever you want, right? Index.html, and in this we are going to import A-Frame. How do we import? If you look here, they're writing a script tag that is importing a .js file. If you see, okay, obviously you should be knowing that, right? So now what are they doing? They are using custom HTML tags that they built into their library. See, this is the script that gives us access to their code, but we won't be able to see it. This will totally work in the background. You won't even know what is in the script, but there are some standard tags that you can learn and use in your own websites. Okay, so for now we'll just copy till here, till the body. I'm not copying anything else. Once we copy this, I'll just close the body and the HTML / body. Okay, and I'll also close the HTML tag. Okay, so this is just basic HTML. You guys should know all this already, right? Now, what am I going to do? Here, I'm going to put something known as a text. Okay, if you see, it won't actually work. I'll just show you something. Hello, and if I go live, you'll see that. Give it a minute, it's loading. Okay, so it's working normally. First of all, we need to tell A-Frame that, okay, A-Frame, we are trying to render something in VR, okay, or 3D basically. And that we do by always creating something known as a scene, okay. This term is more specific to game development, but a scene is the tag that will hold all of your A tags, okay. What are A tags? A dash scene or A dash box, A dash sphere, all of this. For now, we'll just write this A scene into our HTML.
Shaukat, you're not audible. Are you speaking something? Yeah, you're not audible yet. No, Shaukat, you're not audible now also. Okay, like am I audible now? Can you guys hear me? Okay, okay. So the problem is with Shaukat, I guess, not with the meet.
Okay, am I audible now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, done. Let me just present this.
Okay.
Okay, what is the last thing you heard, guys? What was I talking about the last time you heard? Okay, so let's just go back and okay, till here I think it's clear. And whenever we need to render any A tag or the custom tags into our HTML document, we always need to use one parent tag, that is A scene. And within this A scene, we are going to write A box now. Okay, how do I know I'm supposed to put a box? How do I know I'm supposed to put a seam? I read the documentation. You also need to read the documentation when you're free so that you can get a deeper understanding. Okay. So now, whenever we have any element in a box, it will obviously have some size, right? So here you define height and width, just like your 2D HTML where you define height and width for your box, or sorry, for your div. Here we are going to define height as 10 pixels, width as 10 pixels, and depth as 10 pixels. Oh no, 10 pixels. And we'll also write the position. Okay. So whenever you write any a thing, okay, like a tag, you always have to imagine that you're living in a 3D space. Okay. So in a 3D space, you'll always have 3-point coordinates. If you think of it like this, I'm currently standing relative to this laptop. If I am origin, it is in positive Z, positive, okay, negative Y, and 0x probably. Okay, so you always have to think about 3 axes whenever you define the position of any element in A frame. So what is A frame essentially? Essentially, it is a library that allows you to write simple WebVR into your HTML simply. You can write it in React, but that is way too complex for us right now. So I'll stick with HTML. Okay. Now, whenever you talk about anything in A frame, there will be 3 axes, X. Oh, sorry, this is Y, right? Y, X, and Z. Z will be depth always. X will be the left to right of your screen. Y will be the top to bottom of your screen. Okay. So based on that, we are going to give a position to this box because we want it to show up nicely. Position will be 15. Okay, sorry. Okay, whenever you give position, you're supposed to give 3 values with spaces in between. It will be, let's just say 15 space. 15 is the X, so it's going to be 15 right. I don't want that. 0, 0, and depth is going to be 15. So I'm not moving it right or left or top or bottom. I'm just moving it far away from me. Okay, I'll just give 10 for now, and let's see if it will render. Okay, so if you look here, I have my box. Okay, it's actually way too big. Yeah, you can use WASD keys to move around in your space. Okay, so it's basically like a player game where you are spawning objects and looking at them. Okay, so this is your A box. Now the good thing that comes with A frame is that you can inspect and see all these elements just like they are HTML elements. Okay, give it a minute, it'll load. Okay, so on this canvas, so what is a canvas? If you guys have read HTML tags, you'll understand. Canvas is something that we always play our video on, or anything that is really changing very, very fast. Like you're displaying like a video, then it will in turn use a canvas to render everything. Okay, you don't really need to go into it now. But yeah, this is the A scene we have. And within A scene, we have a box here. So that is how I know my script is working. Okay, the HTML script has been updated. I see my A box here. But the problem with A frame is that you cannot select elements. See, even if I click on A box, it is showing that A box is somewhere at 0, 0. If you see on the top left, I'm not sure if you can see, but A box is 0x0. The position of A box is 0x0. So that is one problem that comes. And A frame automatically adds a camera. Okay, this A entity camera position, WASD controls, rotation, look controls, A frame injected in all of these. You don't really have to go that deep unless you're going to build VR experiences. So let's do one more thing. Let's add a sphere on top of that. How do we add a sphere? It's very simple. We just add a dash sphere, sphere, and close it. We'll give the, see, a sphere won't have height, width, and depth, right? It will have radius. Very good. Radius will be, let's just say 5 pixels. And now what are we going to do? Imagine it like this. You have a cube somewhere here. Okay, this is a cube. I know I'm very bad at drawing, but for now, imagine that this is a cube. And now I want a sphere to be on top of this. How do I do that? It's very simple. We position this in such a way that it will be on top of this box. Okay. How do we do that? We'll just say position equal to 0. Okay. 0. So the x coordinate is same, but y needs to be higher. So it will be 10 and 15. Oh, okay. This is also 10. So now let's see how my elements are rendering. If we look here, it is almost the same, but something is wrong. So now this is getting very difficult, right? We have one more tool from A-Frame which will help us build these very easily. What is that? It's called the inspector. I'm not sure of the shortcut, but it should be Control Alt I. Yes, Control Alt I is the inspector shortcut. Okay, so it's loading the inspector. Just wait a minute. My laptop is slow. Your laptop probably would have rendered it by now. Okay, what is going to happen is, this is a visual editor where you can change all of these things. For example, if I click on this, oh, that sphere is not really visible here, but it seems to be visible there. Okay, just click on this. Okay, if you want to go focus on that object, hit F. Okay, so this is my cube that I rendered. Now, if I want to move around, I can just use move tool, deselect everything. Control Alt I again. Shit, I lost. Okay, so box F. Okay, how do I? Okay, I can't scroll out here, right? Okay, so now where do I want my sphere to be? I want my sphere to be on top of this cube. So what do? I first align them through this visual editor or inspector for that matter, whatever you want to call it. Now, once this is done, right click to move and normal click to look around. Okay. So once we are looking at it like this, what I'll do is I'll just copy this position. It is what? 0, 10, 10.367. Okay. I'll paste that here. 0, 10, 10.367. And now if I go back, it will automatically reload and I'll just look around, see. That is how you create your 3D sphere and box. But if you see our app or our website, as soon as we hit VR mode, is getting a dark background. How do we fix that? We can fix it by, first of all, getting some background image. Okay. For example, let's just say I want a panorama. Okay. What is a panorama? Panorama is a long image, like wide image to say, and it's very short and wide. So yeah, you'll understand when you see it. Free 4K panorama. Yeah, I need free ones, so I'm not sure if I can get any. Let's just say 360 panoramas. Okay, free 4K 360. So what is 360? 360 is the angle of a circle, right? So if you start somewhere, rotate 360 degrees, you'll come back to the same place. So whenever you render something in VR, it's going to be in 360 degrees. If you think of it, it's kind of intuitive. You'll understand. Don't worry. So actually, with what I'm teaching you now, you can build a website like this. We'll see how they built it and all, but for now, let's just keep it there. Okay, so this you'll need a backend also, but see, for example, this is a panorama. Why? This is very wide and very short. Plus, the thing with 360 panoramas is you can kind of guess if they're actually 360 photos or not. From this, I'm guessing this is a 360 video because why? This edge seems to match with this edge, right? Think of it like you're wrapping this panorama onto a sphere. If you wrap it, would it look like the actual image from the inside? Yes, I think it would. Let's just download quickly. I won't download it to this. I'll just download it to here and I'll name it something good. Ali. Okay. So now what are we going to do? We are going to change the VR scene of our A-frame. Okay. Now, whenever you talk about changing the view of your whole app from the inside, like if you're inside the app, that is, you're looking at the app through your laptop screen or any headset for that example. If you're in that, imagine that you're always inside a closed sphere. Okay. In that closed sphere, you're always going to have a material wrapping around your closed sphere, right? On the inside. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to change that material to this photo. How do we do that? We say A-sky. Okay. We'll actually wrap this whole thing inside A-sky. And here we are going to give src equal to ali.jpg. Now let's go here and see what will happen. Okay, what happened? See, I got the image here. Now, when we go into VR, what is going to happen is this is going to be the VR scene that we ignore this cube, but this is going to be the VR scene that we created. Okay. Okay. So what happened? If you can see, this part is not attached properly. There's a like noticeable line here. Why? It can either be the problem with the photo, or it can be that that photo was meant for some other type of use. Okay, there are multiple ways that you can render a 360 image into your A-frame. Now, what are we doing? We're essentially taking a picture, wrapping it around the sphere, and putting the user inside that sphere. That is what A-sky does. Now, how do you imagine this in real life? Is think you're in an open ground. Okay, you're looking at the sky. You can kind of see that the sky will touch the ground somewhere, right? The horizon. Think of it like that. Okay. In that, what you see is because of the ground, you cannot see what is under you, but you can see that Earth is a sphere, right? Now, just continue that and think the sky is a complete sphere and you're painting that sphere with this photo. Okay. So that is what we're doing here. If you see under me, there is a weird, it's almost like a black hole pulling everything into it. That is because this photo is not an actual panorama. An actual panorama will look much, much better than this. And you won't have this problem with the dots also. Okay. On the top also, if you see there's a dot, everything is converging there. Why? Because this photo is not meant to be a panorama, but I forced it to attach the both ends, right? So that's why. Now, if we go into VR, we can see that we are in VR, like in full screen mode basically, and the user is able to move around, and he's also able to look at the cubes that I placed. Now, the next important thing you'll add to your website anyways is a text. Okay. Where is the text? Now, this is how you write it. Value equal to hello world. I wrote it wrong when I first started. So I'll just write that and I'll give this a position. Yeah, we won't give position. We'll give position to the inspector. Okay, just so you guys understand how to use the inspector better. I'll just reload. Right click. Oh, sorry. Not Chrome Developer Tools. When you want to open the inspector, the shortcut is Alt Control I. I'm telling you again. So now what are we going to do? We are going to look at the children element of the A-sky, which is a text, and hit F. Okay, this is where my text currently is. I want it to be rendered on that sphere, let's just say. Okay, so how do we do that? 1 second, I'll just zoom out from here. And this a text will first give it some color, but not right now. We'll give it some red color just so we can see it from here. Okay, so what is the problem? It seems like hello world is too small for us to see from far away. So what are we going to do? It's I'll just show you. Wait, instead of telling you, we are going to increase the size. How do we increase the size? We can use scale property. Hold this and just increase it like this. Okay. 1 second. Just hold this and okay, it's not increasing for text. Maybe for text we need to use something else. 1 second. It's already very high. Yeah, let's just say we'll increase the height. Height, space and width. Okay, so we are able to see it from this side, but we're not able to see it from that side. So I'll just rotate it like this until it turns that way. And I'll view it from this side. I'll mirror it. How do we mirror? Just okay, that way it's not. Okay, for now I'm deleting the sphere and cube. Okay. The problem with a text is it will be visible on one side if you see, and as soon as I cross a certain threshold, it will not be visible. Okay. Once I rotate it more than this much, it is not visible. But if I rotate it back again, it should be visible. Wait, if I rotate it back, see that is again visible. So that is one problem. Please keep that in mind when you're designing your own websites. Okay, we don't need these many texts. Delete everything. Okay, let's control C. Ah, shit. I spoiled it. Let's give 4. Okay, so option. Okay, so we positioned it. Now we are going to take this position. Just position 1, 3, 1.370 and 169, 3.1. Okay, position is equal to 1.37, 1.69, 3 point something, right? Let's see what will happen. See if we're able to look at our a text. Okay, I need to delete the sphere and box. Let's see if we're able to see our a frame. Oh, sorry, a text. Where is the a text? I think we're unable to see it because it's way too small. I'll just go Alt Shift I again. Where is a text? I keep rotating. Okay, it's at 000 for some reason. or did I change? Okay, a text is what I want. Okay, it is at 000. Maybe I spelled something wrong. Okay, position spelling is wrong. Position. Yeah, now it should be visible. Let's see. Control Shift I. Let's go to Sky, A text and F. It is visible, but I'm not able to see it from that side. First problem. Okay. Let's just reload. Maybe I need to increase the size. I'm not sure. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. So we are able to see this text from this side, but we are not able to see it from the other side. How do we solve that? Let's see. Wait, they should have examples on this somewhere. Here's an example. Yeah, 360 image. Yeah, this is an example of a text. How do I know? Because Alt Control I and you'll be able to see what all is there. If you go here, we can see that this is actually a text. Okay, the PUID, SANC or whatever. Okay, so this is our a text component, and after this you might want to add some images. How do you? Okay, actually, if you want to see how they added, you can look at this project in GitHub. Okay, if you hit view source, you can look at that particular code in GitHub. And what did they write? They wrote width, position, and all of this. Okay, they changed the rotation so that it is visible on the other side. Let's try that here. We're going to say rotation. We'll actually remove this and try this one. Okay, but then we have to change our A sky to something else. We'll just copy, paste. Okay, so what are they doing? We don't need this meta tag. Title, you guys already know. We are not going to go over that. And I need to change this script to my own script, or the script that I need to include is this one. And then this is going to be ali.jpg. Let's see what will happen now. If I reload, give it a minute, it will load. See, now it is visible. What did they do? They gave a better position, like they probably tested around and gave a nice position. And they also rotated the text so that it is visible from the front. That's it. This font has nothing to do with us. It is just normal. And value, we know how to give. A sky, you already know. This meta is not needed. This is not needed. You know HTML tag, head tag, title tag, script, head. A scene, I just explained. A sky, I explained. A text, I explained. Okay. So now the next thing we are going to do is you might want to add images to your website, right? So that can be done through a-image. Where is that? Yes, a-image. The image primitive shows an image on a flat plane. So what is going to happen is whenever we want to show an image as a 2D image, we are going to use this. For example, you're building maybe a TV on this. How do you build it? You build it using image. I'll actually show you by building like a very bad TV. So let me just write a box. And in this a box, I'm going to give position equal to minus 2.5, 0.25, minus 1.5. And inside this box, I'm going to give a plane. Okay, so what is an A-plane? A-plane is used to spawn a two-dimensional plane onto the box. So for the box, I'll give a color property of, let's just say red for now. And A-plane is going to be color green. Let's see if we are able to look at our plane and cube in A-frame. Okay, so plane is visible, oh sorry, cube is visible, but the plane is not visible. So I'll just increase its height equal to 100 pixels so that I can see where that plane is. Okay, okay, so I am not able to see my plane for some reason. Let's just read documentation on that. Where is A dash plane? We give color, we give height and width. Okay, I'll just give width also. It's equal to 10 pixels, and now maybe it will be visible. Let's just turn around and see where it is. Okay, now that I cannot see, I'll just go into inspector again, and in inspector I'll look at the A plane tag. Okay, there is no A plane in this. Why? Maybe I spelled something wrong. Okay, A plane, not A plan. Sorry. Okay, my mistake. Should have paid more attention. Okay, again, inspector. I'm just validating if my plane spawned or not, and unfortunately it has not spawned yet. Why? Oh shit, not plane, it's sorry guys. Okay, so my plane has spawned, but I don't want it to be so big. What will I do? I'll edit its position so that it is smaller. I'll just make it 10 by 10. Pixels by 10 pixels. That should be enough. Let's see. 10 pixels by 10 pixels. That should work, right? Okay, so our cube is small actually. We'll make this 1 by 1 then. 1 pixel by 1 pixel. And I think it will be too small now, and we are not, yeah. We'll give 5 pixels, and this will also be 5 pixels. Now let's see. Okay, it is working, but we want our plane to be even more smaller. So since this is also taking too long, we'll go into inspector again. Okay, there's a lot of back and forth between inspector and this. So what are we going to do? We are going to map this in such a way that it looks at least like a TV. I can't guarantee you anything now. So we'll click on plane. We'll scale it down to about this much, and we'll do this. Okay, so no, we'll scale it down a little bit more. Let's okay. So now if I save this, okay, let's just take this scale 0.167 scale equal to 0.167. Now the problem is it will re-render. We have to change the position again. Okay. 0.167 and 167. Now we are going to change the position. Why? Currently it would be inside the cube. Okay. If you think of it, we had a large plane and we made it very small in the same position. We made it smaller than the cube. So it is not visible currently. We'll just go into A box, A plane, and we will edit its position such that it is visible now. Okay. So this position is ideal. Z is 0.514. Okay. in this we'll give the position as 0.167, if I'm not wrong. Okay, I am wrong. We need to correct that plane properly. How do we correct it? We'll just right click and drag to move. What is this? 0.532. Okay. 0.532. Okay, now it should be visible. Let's see. Yeah, it will probably render much faster on your computers. Okay, so if you want to make a TV in A-frame for your own portfolio, this is how you do it. You'll probably attach some legs also. Okay, under the TV, you'll attach some legs. How do you do that? There is another thing called A- cylinder, and you'll add 2 cylinders so that they're positioned like this under the TV. Should we do it? No, let's not do it. You guys can probably figure it out. Anyways, it's just spawning a cylinder, changing it to that required position, remembering that position, putting it in HTML, then changing its rotation, putting it in HTML. It's just back and forth from HTML and A-frame. And it's not the most efficient method, but for now, that should do. And after this, if you want an image inside this plane, how do you do that? You add a image tag. Okay, you can either do it like that, but I don't want to do it like that. I'll just add a image, and inside this a image we'll give a src, which will be equal to ali.jpg. And now we have to edit its height width properties. We'll see that next. Okay, first of all, let's make sure that our image is rendering. If you see, our image is rendering inside this square. Now what are we going to do? We are going to use inspector again to change its scale so that it fits the TV properly and all of that. Okay. Okay, a text, oh sorry, a box image, and we are just going to up the scale very much. Oh, that is bad idea, right? 1111. No, just change this to 1.0. Okay, you can use this tool to scale it up. That is the R tool, by the way. Like to scale, R is the shortcut. If you just increase this and move it a bit outward so that it's more visible, because if the plane and image are on the same coordinate, you'll face trouble. So 0.159 and 5.101 is the scale. 0.159, 5.101. Position is 0.159. And what is the scale? Scale is 5.1. I don't remember what after that is, but for now we'll just write 5.123. Okay, 5.123, 5.123. So if you guys are still confused, position is written in 3D. So this is the x coordinate, y coordinate, and z coordinate. Scale is also similar. On the x-axis, the scale is 5.123 times the original one. And on the y-axis, it is 5.123 times the original one. And on the z-axis also, it is the same. Okay. So now if we go here, we should be able to see our 360 image playing on the TV. Let's wait. I know it's taking a lot of time to render, but generally you're not expected to increase the load time of your website when you're using A-frame, because it's fine. Okay. Okay, look at this. Currently we have what do they call this? An image here. But now if you want to play a video in this instead, you have a tag for that also. It is a video tag. Okay, but for this we need a 360 video, or okay, a flat video will do, right? Let's just take some video from my if I go here, do I have any recordings, video projects? Okay, do I have OBS Studio? Yes, so there should be some. Let's go back. Okay, there are no videos here, but I think we can use this one. Okay, this is a very long video, so the loading time will be extremely high, but for now it's fine. Okay. Oh my god, it's 51.3 MB. And the good thing with A-Frame is that you can host it on GitHub just like we hosted our front-end HTML websites. Okay. So now we are going to remove a image, and instead of a image, we are going to give a video, and src will be not ali.jpg. It will be C overview, course overview, and all of that. Okay, now let's go here and see if it will work or not. Okay, so it is working. You can't really see it because of bad quality, but you can listen to it. I'm not sure if you can. Okay. So if you see that video is playing, so we essentially built a TV like this. You are going to build multiple things, and how do you enable movement is you make animations in this. Okay, I'll just keep it on, but I'll mute the tab. Okay, I don't want it shouting in my ear. So just like that, we can add 360 videos. If you have a 360 camera or have some website that can make a 360 video, you can make a 360 video of yourself and put it on this website or your website essentially, and that will like really make a good impression on your recruiter. After that, we are going to learn animations. Okay, animations are fairly simple. Also, A-Frame search function does not work. Just use Control F and hit animation. Okay. So we are going to learn this. How do we animate is, first of all, we write the initial position in the normal position part. And after that, we write animation properties position. And we are going to set property from whatever it is currently to 1.8, 1.8 and -10. I'm not sure if you guys can see because it's light theme. Okay, so it's from this position, we are changing position property in our animation to 1, 8 and -10 during 2000 milliseconds. That is, the duration is 2000 milliseconds. Easing is linear. This is like a bit advanced concept. You don't need to worry about that for now. But looping is true. This means that the animation will keep on running without stopping anywhere. Okay, it won't run once and stop. It will run continuously. Okay, and let's just give this animation to our a box. Okay, we'll just keep the original position like that because we need it in our animation, right? So I'll write animation equal to property property colon how do we write position? Property colon position. That's it. Okay, position, and we give a semicolon. Okay, semicolon, 2 colon. We are giving the final position. We want our final position to be this position for now. So we'll give -2.5, 0.25, -1.5, and we'll change our initial position to maybe -20, 10.25, and -10. And we need to specify a time which is duration equal to 5000, which is 5 seconds. But we don't want it so large. We'll give 2500. And we'll also give loop colon true. You can even give numbers here, like loop colon 4 will loop that for 4 times. Okay. If you give true, it'll loop infinitely. But if you give a certain set number, it will loop only those many times. Okay. If you see what is happening. Okay. Maybe I messed up the positioning a bit. Not really sure. How much did we give? We gave 2500, right? Let's give 250. It's going to be a very short animation. Okay, maybe I did not change the properties properly. Let's see, position, animation. Okay, maybe I gave a spelling mistake somewhere. This position, semicolon 2. Okay, I gave that properly. Duration is 250. That is correct. Let's just give easing linear also, just so I don't miss out on anything. Okay, the animation is not working. Why? Maybe I messed up some property. Okay, let's remove this and try the thing that they gave. If that will work, it'll be good. I can at least show you guys what's happening, right? Let's just take the animation property from here. Just paste it here. And it will work. Maybe, let's see. Okay, see, that is moving. Okay, so that is how you do animations. If you remember the first website I showed you, the 3JS house, that is how they probably did this animation. Okay, the train was moving forward and backward, right? This is how they probably did it. And I think the previous thing that I wrote, there's probably a spelling mistake somewhere. So that is why there was that error where we couldn't see the animation. Okay, so that is how you use A-frame. And I did not get your teams list yet. So what do we do? Yeah, so with this, your teaching part of the course is over. You're going to start working now on your final projects. Okay, let's see if these guys gave me. Okay, they did not give me your teams list yet, but all of you start brainstorming on your final projects. Okay, because you have barely 10 days. How many days do you have? You have almost 1 week to submit your project. So on the 20th, you're going to submit your project. We don't know who the teams are yet because I did not get the list. These guys have the list already. So we'll tell you which team you'll go into. But for now, start thinking about your final projects. And the thing is, you're going to need a few things for sure. Okay, I'll just write them down so that you guys will remember. You'll anyways watch the recording, right? So I'll write it here. Okay, so these are the requisites of your website. One, it has to have a login page, and therefore sign up should also be there. And it needs to be a full stack website. Okay, what does full stack mean? You should know by now because you're enrolled in this course. It needs to be a full stack website, both front end and back end. Back end is going to be MERN. Okay, and React is optional. If you want to do React, you can do React. Otherwise, it is optional. Okay, you can just do in plain HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Login and sign up page needs to be there. It needs to have backend. Second is it needs to have a nav bar. Okay, you can use Bootstrap also. Bootstrap is also optional. You can use if you want to and know how to. And the third one is, it needs to be a multi-page website, obviously. Fourth one, the front end part of your website, if you're doing in HTML, if HTML host, okay, you have to host it on GitHub. And then what else do we have? Obviously, it needs to be an original website. You can't copy it from anywhere. Okay, no copy, original. And try to use as much as you've learned in the course, like all the stylings, media queries, all of that. And then what did we learn? Obviously, your front end needs to have a bit of JavaScript. Okay, obviously you'll write it because you need to link it with the back end. So that is not a prerequisite. Okay, so this is just the front end part, right? And the rest, the back end will actually depend on what you choose. So by tomorrow, we'll specify your teams so that you guys know who you're working with and you can get in contact with them and start planning your final project. Tomorrow, you guys are going to come and tell me what your final project plans are. And also, if we have more than 3 people in a team, I'm not sure how many people will be there. So if we have more than 3 people, choose one person as your POC. What is POC? Point of contact. Okay. He's not your team leader or anything, just point of contact. So that person will speak to me on behalf of your team. Otherwise, if everybody speaks, it will be difficult in the online meeting, right? So one by one, every day we'll do this from tomorrow, which is the point of contact will unmute, talk to me about what they're doing, what they've done, what each member of their team is doing, and what are the problems you're facing, what do you need, do you need any assets like images or something like that, or raw data. That we'll see. Every day you're supposed to update what you've done so far. Everybody in the team will update their POC and that POC will update me. Okay, so that is how it will work. And all the best for your final projects. If you have any doubts, I'm free to take them. Otherwise, this class is over. Oh, position spelling. Thank you for telling me. Plain spelling also. Thank you. But I read them very late. That is a different thing. Okay, we have to choose our project. Yes, you have to choose your own project as a team. For now, individually start brainstorming. Okay, maybe I'll make this, maybe I'll make this. And once you join a team or we specify your team, then you'll actually choose your project. Okay, all of you together will choose a project. So make sure you meet your teammates before choosing your project. Okay. Okay. Does anybody have any doubts? Please raise your hand if you have any doubts. Okay, I don't think offline guys have any way. Online guys? Okay, that's it then. Today's class is done. Bye guys.
Okay, Shaukat, I'm turning off the recording.